What do people need to understand in your estimation?
What we need to understand is that Congress is working on legislation called H.R. 6666. It's H.R. and then 4 sixes. That legislation, if that were passed, would make every single person on the planet, or at least in America, to take an RNA-modifying nanotechnology inside your body that has the capacity to control your thoughts. So everybody out there needs to make sure that all of your elected officials need to know, do not let H.R. 6666 pass, and do not take those RNA-modifying nanotechnologies inside your body. If you've already taken the shots inside your body and you have concerns, please go to timetofreeamerica.com and just come out to one of our events, because we have doctors, scientists, and people that know what's going on that are developing therapies and treatments that can help reverse some of the side effects of these quote-unquote gene therapy RNA-modifying nanotechnology vaccines.
Nanotechnology that can control your thoughts. Oh my God.
Now what it is the part of the depopulation. And a lot of people don't understand what that means. And what there is there's an end game. It's called depopulation of the Caucasian race, or the Anglo-Saxon. And that's what the goal is to depopulate the Anglo-Saxon race, because they are the ones with the strongest bloodlines. And we'll leave it at that, because then we get into a whole different topic. But it's a depopulation of race. Okay, that's what they want to do.
The Google Chrome logo is 666. And the Google Chrome logo is 666. So people always say, well, you got to trust Google. How many of you had people say this? Well, Google says. So the Google Chrome logo is 666. Now, the day one that Biden got in office, he asked for $6.5 billion to start a new department, a new agency of the United States government. And that agency, type in HR 6666, there's 4 sixes, is to do surveillance under the skin and to be able to arrest you for pre-crime.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and this moron conspiracy theorist, Clay Clark, is just like all the rest of them, with the possible exception he takes it even a step further by parading around the country in a stupid bus, begging for money off witless sap donors so that he can actually get paid to be an absolute moron in front of live audiences.
The word corona equals 666. So if you go to Google real quick, if you pull up on the screen real quick and just pull up Google and you search for the Google Chrome logo, the Google Chrome logo remember, Yuval Noah Harari is now the prophet of Silicon Valley. Under his leadership, they changed the logo to be 666. The Google Chrome logo is 666. The day one that Biden got in office, he asked for $6.5 billion to start a new department, a new agency of the United States government. And that agency, type in HR 6666, there's 4 sixes, is to do surveillance under the skin and to be able to arrest you for pre-crime. And the guy he tapped to be the head of that agency was Jeffrey Epstein's partner. So you just type in HR 6666, there's HR and then 4 sixes, and then click on it. There he is. And click on that legislation right there, top, click on that first link. Boom. All right. So look at that. HR 6666, vaccination, ID, AI. That's what it is. Google Chrome logo is 666. That's what it is. If you look, next time you use Google, just know you're using Satan's filter. Seriously. It's very important to know that. Also, Google Chrome, okay, it's called the Chrome is the name of the logo. Chrome is the name of the search engine. It's powered by an operating system called Adreno. Adreno Chrome. You're using Satan's tool every time you use Google.
There's been almost 800,000 COVID deaths in the US since the pandemic began, but over a year and a half into the deadly pandemic, at-home science hobbyists can't help but continue to spread misinformation about the disease. This time, it's about whether COVID-19 has gotten into our water supply. Spoiler alert, it hasn't. This video shows someone running tap water over a COVID rapid test before saying that a positive result was produced, which would mean that the virus is either in the water or that the test itself is faulty. And as we all know, amateur virologists like this one only really are harmful when their messages are spread by people with platforms, which unfortunately is the case with this video. Of course, there's the QAnon crowd pushing this one, specifically Ron Watkins, who is now a congressional candidate, who shared the video to his 267,000 followers.
Looks like there's still some people out here who know the truth. Ha! Not everybody's asleep, baby. It looked like somebody didn't agree with his message because they broke the back of his window.
There's a new QAnon conspiracy theory growing in the back corners of the internet that is equal parts ridiculous and chilling. Before we get into that, here's a bit of background about what the alt-right QAnon crowd thinks about what's going on with the current crisis in Ukraine. To put it bluntly, they do not think it's real, instead believing that Trump and Putin are working together to expose a network of biolabs that are developing chemical weapons. And before you shrug this off as dark web internet nonsense, you should know that it's being boosted on Fox News by cable's most popular host, Tucker Carlson. So what is this latest conspiracy exactly, and how does it have to do with Ukraine? Remember how Donald Trump always pronounced China rather specifically?
China, 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 China.
If you don't, good for you, because this linguistic habit is sending QAnoners down an insane rabbit hole. They believe that the former president was intentionally mispronouncing the country of China's name because he was actually referring to a city in Ukraine where conspiracy theorists now believe COVID virus actually started. In other words, they're claiming Trump was secretly trying to alert us years in advance that the virus was not from China, but was manufactured in Ukraine. This follows a wider conspiracy that there are US biolabs in Ukraine, but more broadly, it suggests that Q and his followers are shifting perception of China as the enemy. So this bizarre theory comes as QAnon has been embracing Putin since his invasion of Ukraine. But this poses a problem because China is, by all accounts, allied with Russia, sending the QAnon establishment worldview into a tailspin. So what's their answer to all of that? Rather than digging for any type of truth and an acknowledgement that the geopolitical conflicts are messy and your allies' allies are not your friend, they are digging themselves deeper and deeper into a rabbit hole that we know many will never escape from.